spoke to Dana White and others involved that it is official. It is signed. An interim lightweight title fight between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier will headline UFC 236 on April 13th in Atlanta. Max Holloway will remain the featherweight champion as he moves up to 155 pounds to try to capture that interim title. And you have to think that the winner of this bout, presumably, would be next to face Khabib Nurmagomedov, but currently he's still serving a 9-month suspension. Now, initially, they did not offer this fight to Dustin Poirier. If you've been paying attention to Dustin Poirier's social media, you probably could figure that out. This guy was getting extremely frustrated. According to White, they formally offered that fight to Tony Ferguson, and he turned it down. I sent a text message to Tony Ferguson on Friday, and his camp reached out for comment. He is not commenting on the situation as of now. But Tony Ferguson right now still remains unbooked, no fight, but the division moves on.
Why did you decide today to announce your retirement?
Well, like every good thing has an end, and we were trying to have that fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov, but unfortunately, UFC have other plan for him, and it's all good. You know, where I am in my career, if I make an analogy, now I'm more on top, and I look down, and there's only a few things that can happen to elevate me, and that can excite me. So I think it was a perfect timing.
When did you start trying to get the Khabib fight?
We start thinking about it before the fight with Conor McGregor, and after the fight with Conor, the whole thing happened, the whole drama. Unfortunately, we were trying to make that happen. That was the legacy fight.
In terms of your discussions with the UFC, your management's discussions with the UFC, how far along did the talks get?
They try to talk about if I fight Khabib at 155 for a title, then they say, okay, no title, catch weight. They try every avenue possible, but UFC categorically refused the idea of me fighting Khabib because they had other plan for Khabib. And it's normal, he's a young guy, he's a young prodigy, you know, he's undefeated. He seems, basically he's the perfect fighter. He's like the invincible guy right now. He's a guy to beat, you know.
Why were they not interested in this fight?
It's an unwilling risk they want to take because I'm older. It's maybe my last fight. It could have been my last fight. Right now I take one fight at a time. I'm interested of taking a fight with the guarantee that if I win I have to do something else. I'm not at that place in my career and my life right now. And him, he's younger. He represents an investment. You know, I'm the past. He's the present. You know, he's the main guy. It's you know, fighting. It's a sport that everybody can lose at any given day. Nobody's invincible. Even though you seem invincible, nobody's invincible. And I think maybe it was a risk that they were not willing to take business-wise.
So then I'll ask you about what you think of this matchup with Conor and Cowboy.
It doesn't really do it for me. I don't know. Maybe I feel like Conor should be fighting Ferguson if they're the top two ranked guys in the division, and Khabib is sitting out. The top two guys should fight each other. I don't know why they're not. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, but that's what they want to do. It's Conor can pick and choose who he wants to fight, and that's what he's going to do. So, I mean, Cowboy's a guy who's been kind of bouncing around. He's gotten to the top, but he's never won the title. He's coming back down to 155 and beats really a up and coming guy that wasn't tested. And so I don't know. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be intriguing, but I think I would rather see him fight Ferguson if it's going to be because.
If you're weeding out contenders.
Yeah. But it's you know, for what it is, it's going to be an exciting fight.
What did you think of that stoppage with TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo?
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, I'm never opposed to letting TJ Dillashaw get more of an ass whooping, so I was okay with that. But it was more about the fact of, you know, him complaining about it. If you want to know what I think, it comes down to this: did the ref stop it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is there anything TJ can do about it from that point on?
The decision?
About the decision.
No.
About them stopping the fight.
That ship has sailed, my friend.
Right. So that's my point. I look at this and I say, is this how insignificantly stupid you are? Is to think that you complaining and whining about a stoppage is going to change anything? It's like you just sound like a moron. Like nothing is going to change. You might as well just accept what just happened to you and try to grab a hold of your balls instead of run from them and admit the loss, because you just got knocked out by a 25er and you dropped down to a weight class that dried out your brain, and you might not have been as durable as you are at 135. There's a reason I never cut to 125, and it's not because I couldn't make it. It's because I knew that at that level, your brain, with the weight that I cut, it's dried out, and you're not as durable. A huge part of cutting weight and fighting and coming back from the weight cut is how you do the cut. And the reason why that's important is it helps your durability. And you have to be durable in these fights, because no matter who you are, you're getting punched. Everybody gets punched. It's just a matter of if it puts your lights out or not. Now, that's what he's saying. Well, he didn't put my lights out. It should have never been stopped. Okay, but did it get stopped? Yes. Why? Because the ref thought he had to save your life. You got kicked in the face, you got overhand right, and you were getting pounded from the top position. The guy was just trying to keep you safe, TJ. In the end, maybe don't put yourself in that position by cutting so much weight. Let's see what happens at 135. I'm sure that fight's going to happen. But it's a sad display for me for the 135-pound division. And it just showed what a weak-minded champion we have, in my personal opinion, to not admit defeat when it happens and to just make a bunch of sorry excuses. It's sad to me.
Os fãs podem esperar grande show amanhã, e o primeiro evento aqui em Praga vai entrar para a história.
You can expect a great show, and the first show in Prague is going down in history.
Of course I will celebrate. I hope that's going to be an epic fight. I believe in that I'm going to win this fight, and that's it.
For a minute there, it seemed like maybe a rematch against Dustin Poirier would be next. Now it seems like Cowboy Cerrone has moved to the forefront. There was a little talk of Max Holloway. He's going on Twitter and talking about Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva. Who is Conor going to fight next? What could you tell us?
It always matters what you think and what the fans think, and I can tell you that it ultimately matters on my side what my client thinks, right? So right now, I think we're focused. I think we got past the Nevada due process, and we're serving out a suspension. But he's very busy right now. He has a thriving empire that we're growing, and he's focused on his training. He's focused on his family, and we'll see. I mean, I think there's little talks happening right now, but nothing imminent. But there's definitely, I can tell you one thing. He's watching, he's listening, he's in tune. As you can see, he's tweeting during the fights. He gets excited. He loves the sport. He lives for it, and I think it's one of those things where you've named out some potential opponents. I think they all have some merit to consider, but ultimately we'll see kind of where Conor decides, because you're right. It doesn't matter who he fights. He is the biggest thing in this sport.
Could you tell us time frame for when he might return?
Don't know. We'll see. At the end of the day, I think that right now he's just staying focused and focusing on what we have going on. But he's training. I mean, I think you see that in his social media activity. He's training. So it's not like where he's just sitting on the sidelines and not thinking about fighting. He loves it, like I said. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out.
Let me ask you, Francis, would you consider taking another fight before getting a title shot? Maybe a rematch with Stipe?
Honestly, I want a title shot. But since, yes, for real.
Of course, I hear you.
I mean, that is not, once again, it's up to the UFC, and then I don't have no power against them. I think I deserve a title shot, and they should give me a title shot. But if they don't give me a title shot, yes, I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm looking forward to have at least to have again like 2 more fights this year. So I have to move on. I have to make my life. I have to enjoy the process. I have to live my dream. You know, I sometimes I still don't realize it, but it's a dream life. I'm living a dream. I have to enjoy the process. So since I'm healthy, I want to fight twice again this year.